What's up, everyone? We're looking at a review roundup for one of the most iconic, trend-setting strategy RPGs ever, and that would be Tactics Ogre Reborn Edition. The game's been out long enough to have some reviews, so let's find out if in this remake, strategy has evolved in today's video. We're going to look at the general Metacritic. We have both critic reviews and user reviews out at this point, with the critic reviews giving an overall 86 on Metacritic, and the user review scoring it in 8.3. And we're just going to look at one of the highest rated reviews, one of the worst rated reviews, and then something in the middle just to kind of get a feel of the general consensus. So this snippet of the review coming from psxbrazil.com reads, Tactics Ogre Reborn is a more than worthy re-release of one of the most influential and maybe the best tactics RPG of all time. The improvements brought in this version make it much more accessible and considerably enhance the experience both for new players as well as longtime fans, and make it a mandatory title for everyone who enjoys the genre. And I have to say, from the previews that I've seen leading up to this, I definitely agree with the emphasis on the accessibility features. We're going to move on to somewhere in the middle. This coming from levelup.com, scored an 85. It states here, Tactics Ogre Reborn is not perfect, but it is a very wise re-release. It's not uncommon to see re-releases that disappoint by being simplistic or disrespecting the original creative vision by changing too much, but in this case, we're talking about a release that avoids falling into either of those holes. Instead, we have a title that succeeds by delivering the definitive version of a tactical RPG that deserves to be played by more people. And then we have the lowest score here, coming from Checkpoint Gaming, still relatively high at a 75, and it states Tactics Ogre Reborn is a very good remaster of an absolute classic. So many lines in the game are raw and palpable and feel like utter poetry, leaving me perplexed at how they could be written by another human. Re-recorded tracks add to the grim but boisterous realities of the universe's war. Plenty of granular investment and min-maxing is on offer to create a timeless and incredibly realized tactic combat experience. However, I can't help but sometimes want more from its vague storytelling and opportunities for more quality of life improvements. Concessions absolutely could have been made for more difficulty and saving options, doing away with the feeling of hitting roadblocks. Still, this is a genre experience that's as true as they come. Tactics Ogre has once more cemented itself as one of the tactics giants, and a bloody, monumentous one at that. So in this snippet of the review, they emphasize the granular investing, building up your characters, and min-maxing, which, if you play strategy RPGs, that's one of the draws of the genre. And they have updated all of that to make it more streamlined, and even changed around some of the classes and changed the way how some abilities work if you haven't seen some of their prior trailers. In this review, they state that they wanted more in the way of the storytelling and opportunities and more quality of life improvements in that front. I'm not sure if this reviewer played up to the point, but I saw you should be able to rewind back to certain important decisions that change the outcome of the story. If you've ever played the re-release of like Radiant Historia, where you can go back, or even something like Detroit Become Human that has the web of decisions, it sounds like that's going to be available at some point in the game. I'm not sure if you have to beat it once or if you'll unlock that mechanic. Because they also mentioned another mechanic where you can rewind turns, similar to the latest Fire Emblem game, the Three Houses one, not the Dynasty Warriors one. And then just on the user review side, you mainly got 10s, and then on the really low end, like 0s and 1s. So you got like die-hard fans of the series, and then you got people that just haven't even played or looked into the game, just kind of are bashing on Square Enix in general. But even with that, you got an 8.3 for the user review, which is pretty good. I have to say I'm pleasantly surprised with the 86 score. I thought it might be a bit lower, but this is probably being reviewed by people who are more fans of the genre for the most part, which I am, so it's good to see that it's hitting all the right notes. In this user review here, they talk about certain changes that they didn't necessarily like abilities that don't that proc for some reason that doesn't make sense. There's level capping, I'm not sure if that was in the original. There's a removal of random battles, but you can still easily access grinding battles if you need to. And then class rebalances that just kind of shift what the most overpowered classes are. And they've added new abilities to help differentiate some of the classes as well as just more synergies in combat. So there's more strategy. Like I said, there's also been a rebalancing of the classes, so if anything, that just might make it more fun or different to play again. And maybe there's an ending or two you miss, you go back and it should be relatively easy to give that a shot, or play around with some of the new skills and gameplay. But yeah, I am looking forward to playing this. I'm still in the middle of God of War Ragnarok, so once I finish that, this might be the next game I purchase. But that'll be all for this video. Let me know if you're thinking about buying Tactics Ogre Reborn Edition down in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, but most of all, thanks for watching Game Xfinity.